user, he opens SQL Server Management Studio. This is the client tool. So with which he connects to the SQL server and he can create database. Okay, if it is Oracle, in the same way, he uses SQL plus, he connect to Oracle and he can create database. Okay. So in order to communicate with the database server, we have a language called structured query language. Structured query language. It's a standard query language. It's a standard query language. So finally, what happens in order to communicate with the SQL server in SQL Server Management Studio, user, he writes the SQL commands and he can do, he can work on SQL server. He can create database. He can work on it. Okay. And Oracle also same. Okay. He uses SQL plus, he uses SQL language, and with Oracle he can work with, he can work with Oracle, and he can create database, and he can perform actions on that. Okay. Now see, we have SQL commands. So based on operations or database, SQL commands are categorized into five types. SQL commands are categorized into five types. First one is data definition language. So definition, it is related to structure. Okay, structure. So he can create, he can alter, he can drop or truncate. Okay, so he can create a database, he can create a table like that. This is related to structure. Okay, data definition language. Data manipulation language in the sense, he can create, he can insert records into the database. He can update records into the already existing records, and he can delete, he can merge, like that. Merge in the sense combination of these. And data query language, select, by using select command, we can fetch the records from the database. Okay. Next one, transaction control language. Transaction, I already explained that. Okay, so we have a commit, rollback, save transaction kind of commands. So when we work with the transactions, you will understand this. Okay, after that, we also have a data control language, grant, revoke. Grant in the sense giving permissions, revoke once the work is done. If we can revoke the permission. Okay, so as I said you that this data definition, which is related to structure, here I gave one example, employee ID, e-name, salary. Okay, it contains one record. This is the record. Okay, so data definition in the sense, this one, EMP-ID, e-name, salary, which is related to structure. That means that describes data. Okay, what is 100 in the sense employee ID, right? XYZ, employee name, 50,000, salary, which describes data. That is data definition. And this is data. Okay, now let's see. The next thing is installation of SQL Server 2022. This document I will provide you later. Okay, I will explain you that how to install that. Okay, in the coming sessions. Once it is installed, or you can do one thing. If you don't have SQL Server 2022, we can Google that. We can get many pages for that, how to install SQL Server 2020. It is there already. Otherwise, I can provide you that document also. Actually, my laptop was crashed, so I lost that data. So again, I need to create that document. Okay, most probably next week I will provide you that. Okay, so once installation is done, okay, we need to connect to the SQL server. We need to connect to the SQL server. Okay, so to connect to SQL server, first we need to open SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, let's try that. Let me close this one. I will reopen it. This is SQL Server Management Studio. Probably next week we will merge 7 p.m. batch with the 8 p.m. batch. Okay, we will have classes at 8 p.m. only. Okay, open, right? So so we have opened SQL Server Management Studio and we are trying to connect to the SQL Server. Let's see. It is asking server name, authentication, username, password, right? And database name, encryption, colors. Okay, it is asking some details. It is asking some details. Okay. This server name, let me see. Okay, connecting, right. See, this server name in the sense computer name, the system, system where exactly the SQL server is installed, that is called server name. Okay, that is called server name that we need to enter here. Okay, your system name itself is the server name. Okay, after that we have authentication. We have here many options are there. See, Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication, Microsoft Entra password, Microsoft Entra integrated, many options are there here. This Windows authentication, first see, and SQL Server authentication, after when you install SQL Server, usually you have to configure the authentication. You have to give authentication details, authentication modes you have to select there. Okay, so if you select Windows authentication, how it works, and if you select SQL Server authentication, how it works. Here, right, this Windows authentication is for single user. That means those who are authenticated users of Windows operating system, they can log in into that system. Okay, those who are authenticated users of operating system, they can log in. So only for single user. Okay, next, suppose it is for multiple users. Then we need to give SQL Server authentication mode. We have to select this one. Okay, and along with that, you have to give user ID and password. When you install, you will come across all these things. Okay, you will see there it asks username and password. You have to give that. We can use either of them. SQL Server, we are going to install our system in our system, so no problem. You can use either in Windows or authentication or SQL Server authentication. Use this one, no issue. Okay, if you use user ID and password, but the thing is you must remember them. Okay, it is for multiple users. Okay, so next We have Microsoft Entra password, Microsoft integrated, Entra integrated. Many options are there. Let's see what are they. Earlier, in companies, suppose assume a company has 100, 200 computers in their company. Okay. And they used to maintain a server. They used to maintain a dedicated server or whatever it may be. So they used to maintain a server to control all these systems, to control all these systems. Okay. Windows 11, what it is? It's client's OS. We can install in our system, right? It is not a server OS. Server OS is different, client OS is different. Okay, so server OS is used to control all the client systems. So in order to provide that facility in servers, we have Active Directory component. So a server administrator, what he does is he creates users in that Active Directory. Suppose there are 100 systems are there. To control all these systems, he creates user IDs for them. Okay, so by sitting at the server itself, he can control all the systems. He can block the system. He can give privileges, access to the systems to the users, so that the user can log in into that system. So Active Directory. Okay, so earlier companies, they used to have dedicated servers in their premises. Okay, later on, when this with the evolution of this cloud computing, what happens, you might have heard Azure. Microsoft started cloud services. So later they renamed it as Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, see, Microsoft Entra ID, it is an identity and access management solution that helps organizations secure and manage identities in cloud and on-premises environments. Earlier it was Azure ID. Okay, and in the companies I said, there they used to call it as Active Directory. Initially it was Active Directory. In the servers they used to maintain Active Directories. Okay, so in Azure platform, earlier it was Azure ID. Now in 2023 Microsoft has renamed it as Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, so they started this service long ago, but they renamed it Azure ID as Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, what it provides is, it is for giving identify and it is to manage access, identity and access management solution. It's a identity and access management solution. Simply, we can say authentication and authorization. Okay, in servers, a server administrator, he can create user ID and password. Okay, and user, when he wants to log in into the client system, first the system checks his authentication. Once he is logged into the system, which services he can use, which applications he can use, that is authorization. Okay, so simply authentication is the process of identifying the user's identity, and authorization is the process of giving access privileges to the user once he is identified. Okay, that is the only difference. See, simply, who are you? It asks, who are you? That is authentication. What he can access, that is authorization. Okay, see, this concept Microsoft Entra ID, which is they included here also authentication process. Different types of authentications are there along with the Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication. Okay, if one developer is allowed to work in this system, he can get Windows authentication sometimes. No, multiple users are there, then SQL Server authentication is the best option for multiple users. Okay, next, what options are there along with this? We have many are here, right? Okay, now let's see that. First, see how it helps the companies. It helps the companies to prevent unauthorized access. To prevent unauthorized access, to apply multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication. Nowadays, everyone using that in Gmail also. Multi-factor authentication to secure both employees and external users, and to simplify logins. These are the benefits we get by using Microsoft Entra ID. We have these options there in the where authentication options. So the first one is Microsoft Entra MFA. That means MFA in the sense multi-factor authentication. Okay, so it uses OTP via SMS or email. Okay, and you might have heard of Microsoft Authenticator app that we can install in our mobiles. Okay, and also biometric face or fingerprint. Okay, these comes under Microsoft Entra MFA. Microsoft Entra password. It uses email or username and password for cloud access. Okay, next. It is like if you have a dedicated server, in that server you can install database server, right? That is in our premises. No, I want to have our database in the cloud. There also you can create. Okay, there you will get user ID and password, and using that credentials you can connect to the cloud. Okay, now Microsoft Entra integrated, it uses your Windows account details or domain account details, so that it automatically authenticates that. Okay, so no need to enter credentials. Microsoft Entra service principal. Okay, it is for applications or automation scripts. You must select this option. Microsoft Entra managed identity. It is for Azure services. Virtual machines we have, functions, web applications. If you know about Azure, so that you can identify these things. It is for Azure services. Microsoft Entra default. We have Microsoft products. Okay, Visual Studio or many products are there. They are standard development kits. We have software development kits. We have. So for that also we have user IDs. We can create user ID and password that. So whatever the user ID and password we create there, those things also we can use. And Azure command line interface or Terraform, it's a tool actually. So for that we need to select Microsoft Entra default. In the installation part, if you see after giving SQL Server authentication modes, after selecting that, you may get one page over there. There you need to give Azure details. If you have account with Azure, you can give your user ID and password. Otherwise, no need to select that one. You can leave that. Okay, that is a different thing. Next. Okay, authentication, user ID and password, database, encrypt. This is database, encrypt, mandatory, optional, strict. We have three options, and trust server certificate. Okay, this color, I will explain that later. Why do we need this connection security? To connect with the SQL server, we must have a connection, right? So in order to provide security to the connection, we have these options here. Encrypt. Okay. Wait. So when a client SQL Server Management connects, Management Studio connects to SQL Server, the connection can be protected using encryption so that others cannot see the data. Okay. So internally, what it uses is SSL. Okay. SSL or TLS to encrypt the connections. This SSL in the sense secure socket layer and TLS in the sense transport layer security. Okay, so these two are cryptographic protocols. Okay, so they are used to secure communication over a network, which is used internally. Okay, and we have three options here: mandatory, optional, and strict. Okay, we have mandatory, strict, and optional also. If you select mandatory, that means it must use encryption. But doesn't check certificate strictly. Okay, it does not check certificate. Strict must use encryption and validate certificate properly. Okay, and optional, it tries for encryption. If you select optional, it tries for encryption. If available, it uses that. Otherwise, it will leave that. Okay. Now, what to encrypt? Okay. So I told you that using these protocols, okay, we are doing this encryption. Okay. On what? Actually, we have another option also. Trust server certificate. Let's see advanced also. Oh, okay. Let's see. Trust server certificate. It is a setting when connecting to SQL server or a secure connection, and it tells the client whether or not to trust the server SSL TLS certificate without validating. That means actually what happens uh, SQL server, they may use certificate, right? In that certificate, we must have host name also. Earlier, they used to ask that it is not there. Host name. Okay, it's okay. Host name. Okay, so if you select this trust server certificate, it's a setting. Internally, it checks its value is if it is selected true. That means SQL Server Management Studio, that client tool. Okay, what happens? It skips certificate validation. Certification validation. Otherwise, if it is not selected, that means false. Then validates the certificate. Okay, and you need not worry about this thing. Okay, I'm just explaining. And we have one more option here also, color. This is also nothing. See, if you want to access development server, you can give one color. Okay, if it is production, one color you can give. See, when you select green, see it is showing. If it is production, just give red color. If it is development, green color. We have multiple options, blue color, something testing like that. You can give any color. Just by seeing the color, you can identify to which server we are connecting easily. Okay, that is the advantage of color. You need not worry about that. Okay, now the second thing is, okay, that's good. We have learned how to log in into the SQL server. we also must know SQL Server Configuration Manager. SQL Server Configuration Manager. I will tell you that. SQL Server Management. SQL Server Configuration Manager. This is the one. Actually, to connect to the server through SQL Server Management Studio, we use internally 3 protocols. Okay. After opening SQL Server Configuration Manager, this is the configuration part here, settings. Under this SQL Server Configuration Manager, we have this SQL Server Network Configuration also. In that, whatever instance it is there, you select that instance. Okay. When you select this one, it shows 3 options: shared memory, named pipes, TCP/IP. I think yesterday, did I explain that? Okay, it's okay, no problem. So after opening, if you have any issue with the connection, so you just go and check these things. Okay, the first thing, shared memory. If you select this one, it is enabled. It allows local connections only. It allows only local connections. It uses the Windows shared memory RAM for communication between SQL Server and a client app, that is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, this is shared memory and it allows only local connections. After that, named pipes. It is for inter-processing communication. Local or intranet, not internet, intranet connections. Okay, but internet uses shared memory. Okay, so that is the advantage of named pipes. LAN, through LAN also we can connect. When it comes to TCP/IP, it is the standard communication protocol for most network systems. In internet also we can use this. Okay, suppose our server is at a remote location. If you know the credentials, you can connect with that using TCP/IP protocol. Okay, so I just explained about how to connect to the SQL server. If you face any issues, you can go through these things. Okay, next. Finally, we entered into the SQL Server Management Studio. We gave our user ID and password, or you might have used, we can use Windows authentication also, no issue. Okay, after entering into the SQL Server Management Studio, here we have the whole thing is SQL Server Management Studio. The whole thing is SQL Server Management Studio. In the left side, Object Explorer. What is this message? Okay. Right. In this Object Explorer, just see, this is our system name, right? Under that, we have databases. In the databases, we can create our databases. Okay. After creating databases, we can create tables. After creating tables, we can give our data. Okay, just I'm showing that. Table contains data. See, data. And what a database contains? Tables. Under which what? This server. Under the server, we have databases. Under these databases, we can create tables. We will create a database, and under that database, we can create tables. And in the tables, we can give our data. Okay, right. Now, see. Here, before creating databases, we must know few important things. By default, we have system databases. 4 types of system databases are there. By default, 4 system databases will be there. One is master, model, MSDB, tempdb. Master, model, MSDB, tempdb. Okay, these are the 4 default system databases. Let me explain you that. System database, they are the default databases. The first database, MasterDB, master database, what it contains is, it contains information about all databases. It contains information about all databases. It is the master database, system database, it is default one. It contains information about all the databases, logins, system configuration, file location, etc. Okay, these are the information will be stored in master database. After that, we also have model database. Model database. In object-oriented programming, we create classes, right? If you aware of it, no problem. Otherwise, at least if you know CPP also, we create classes. What is a class? It's a template. It's a template. What we create object. Okay. So in the same way, here model is a template database. It's a template database. When we create a new database, what exactly SQL server does is, it will take model database as a blueprint. It's a model. The name itself saying it's a model. Okay. It takes as a reference. SQL server takes it as a reference. It's a blueprint. Okay. When we create a database, it takes it as a blueprint and creates the database. Okay. It is just a template database. Okay. It's a model. That is the advantage of model database. MSDB, it's a scheduling automation database. It contains jobs, backups, alerts, maintenance plans, and it is used by SQL Server Agent, a service for automating tasks. It is a service. This I already explained in the components of SQL Server. Okay, this is for automation. So those scheduling or automation kind of things will be stored in MSDB. And the fourth one is TempDB. It's a temporary storage. We have a temporary tables concept in SQL Server. When we use the temporary tables, you will come to understand what is this TempDB. It's a temporary storage used for storing temporary tables, intermediate results, and sorting operations, and it automatically clears and resets every time SQL Server restarts. Okay, that is the advantage of TempDB. Okay, nice. Now you understood. We have four default databases. Okay, and their importance also we understood. Now let's create a database. Here, right click on databases. Okay, see, new database option is there. Just click on that. Okay, here we will give our database name. Let me give sample DB I gave. Okay, now see, when I give a sample DB name here, in the bottom it is showing database files. It is logical name. See, logical name. The first one is sample DB and the second one is sample DB underscore log. Okay, log. In the right side, if you see, nothing is there. And this is the path. We also have here options: file type, rows data, log. This is log file and this is main data file. File group, if you see, this is a primary. What it is saying is it's a primary database file. Okay, and its initial size is 3. It is showing we can have 8, 5 like that. We can change that. We can change that. Okay, we can change that. I'm giving 8. If you want, I can give here also 8. Okay, and also here auto growth option it is there. Auto growth or maximize. When you click on that, enable auto growth. Enable auto growth. First, let me explain this. So when we create a database, when we try to create a database, the database will be created with 2 files. The database will be created with 2 files. What are they? .mdf file. One is .mdf file. Okay. Another one is .ldf file. The first one is master data file. The first one is master data file. Where exactly our data will be stored. This is the place where exactly data will be stored. This is master data file. It is a primary data file. And the second one is .ldf. This is a log file which stores all the operations we perform on the database. When we execute the query, it will be stored in the log file, that is .ldf file. Okay, now let me create database here. Here we have options: enable growth, okay, file growth. The initial size, what it is, 8 MB. Okay, now I clicked on auto growth option here. Enable auto growth, it is checked. File growth in percentage and also in megabytes. In percentage and also in megabytes. Suppose if I give percentage, 10%, it is 10%. Or else if I select megabytes, I can give 64 megabytes also. Okay, let me give that first. Here you must understand this. The initial size of the database file is 8 MB. The initial size of the database file is 8 MB. And whenever it is full, we have auto growth here, right? It will increase by 64 MB. It will increase by 64 MB. Okay, whenever it is full, it will increase by 64 MB. You can change it, no issue. You can give lot more, no issue. I can, or you can select a percentage also. Okay, or else you can give maximum limit. Okay, up to that, suppose I want 1 GB. Okay, here it is 100 MB. You can give 1 GB, 2 GB like that also. Okay, if it is unlimited, that is different thing. It is limited. Okay, now what happens if you select maximum file size? Whenever the database file is full, 8 MB initial size, it will grow by 64 MB up to maximum limit is suppose here it is 1000 MB or 1 GB. Up to that it can increase. That is the maximum limit. That is the maximum limit. Okay, that we can set here. Okay, now let me options file groups. I will tell you that later on. Okay, let me click on okay. See, sample DB is created. It is created. Now right click, properties. Okay, files. These are the files. See, .mdf file. It is created. .mdf file. It is created. .ldf file. It is created. The same thing I explained here. See, .mdf and .ldf. Here, where are these files? This is the path. Let me open that path. See, we have here, what is this? What we created? Sample DB. Sample DB. We have, see, it has created. This is master file, master data file, and this is log file. Okay, this is the location. This is the location. This is the physical files we can have here. Okay, so these are the options. And along with these .mdf file, .ldf file, we also have another file that is called .ndf file. .ndf file. Next database file. Next, okay, next data file. It is a non-primary or secondary data file. I will tell you the use of this one. It is an optional secondary data file that can be used to store data in SQL Server database. When the primary MDF file reaches its capacity, or when there is a need to distribute the data across multiple physical disks for performance or management purposes, NDF files can be added to a database to extend its storage capabilities. That means if you want to store your data in multiple files, you can give NDF file. Okay, or you gave 1 GB as the maximum limit. You gave 1 GB as the maximum limit for the .mdf file. Okay, so it is full now. It is full now. What happens if another? When we are going to store more data, what happens exactly? It will store in another file. If you give secondary file, immediately it takes that database file, second database file, and it will start using that .ndf file. Okay, that's why it is master data file and this is secondary data file, ndf file. Okay, that is the use of .mdf file that you can create here. Right click, properties, file groups. We have to go to file groups. Suppose I'm trying to give here a group secondary. Okay, secondary I give. Okay, I give. Now see, go to files, click on add. It is, see, it has created. If I want to give sample to db or sample to, let it be, no issue, or sample db2, no issue. Now see, it is showing file group secondary. Okay, so we have to select this one and we can create that one. Let's try that one. Okay, done. Go to files again, see the extension .ndf. See .ndf, this is the one we created just now. This is secondary. Okay, so when it reaches its maximum capacity, data will be stored immediately in this secondary file. Okay, so that is the advantage of .mdf file, .ndf file. Okay, next thing, collation. Let me tell you here on point. Here we created file group, right? So it's a logical container. Actually, file group is a logical container that groups one or more physical files used to store data in SQL Server database. That is the advantage of file groups. It is a logical container. Okay, after creating file group, then only we can create a .ndf file. Okay, now where it is, collation. What is meant by collation? collation. In SQL, sir, not only in SQL, sir, we have this in other RDBMSs also. Collation in the sense it defines how text is stored and compared in the database. How text is stored and compared in the database. Collation in the sense comparing. Okay, what it controls is character set. Okay, case sensitivity, access sensitivity, sort order. Okay, what is character set? We have English language, for that we have a character set. French, we have another character set. In that way, we have international languages, Japanese, Chinese, or something else, what you can take. So for every language, we have a character set. And in each character set, see, in English, capital A, small a, they are different. They are different. If we say case sensitive, that means A is different. It will consider A is different and small a is different. No. It is case insensitive. If you say that capital A and small a will be considered as same. Okay. In the same way, access sensitivity, A and A, upon this A, see, one mark it is there, and usually in other languages, we come across few characters like this. E, it is there. What is this? Okay, E. And upon this, you see a dot or something will be there like that. In the same way here, where it is, A, okay, like this. I gave example like this. These kind of letters we find sometimes, okay, in other languages. So that pronunciation difference, it is there. So access sensitivity is the one. If it is sensitive, this A is different and this letter is different. No, it is insensitive. Both are same. Okay, it's a character set. Finally, what I'm trying to say is collation is a character set. Okay, so in your project, if there is any requirement, you have to select that character set. Okay, by default, we must have one character set. You need not select that. By default, we have no issue. Otherwise, if you have any requirement, you have to select that character set. If it is Japanese, you go and select Japanese character set, or Chinese, you go and select Chinese character set. Okay, let's see which character set is default here. Options. SQL underscore Latin 1 underscore general underscore CP1 underscore, okay, CI underscore AS. Okay, this is the default one. And that means what? Here, this is a character set. CI in the sense case insensitive, AS accent sensitive, and this CP1 means code page, the code page number. Actually, this is code page number. If it is CA, case insensitive means it will consider A, capital letter A and small a, both are same. Okay, that's why it is case insensitive. And accent sensitive, AS. In the same way, insensitive, you can have AI also. So according to these things, okay, the character set changes. So this character set is useful if you want to have case insensitive, access sensitive. Then we need to select this character set. Okay, usually a database administrator, he selects that what you call character set when they want to create a database, and they give access to you. If you know it, Well, good. Otherwise, you need not worry about this. Okay. Now, creating database. Creating database. Here, we create a database just by right-clicking on database folder and clicking on database, new database, right? But we also can write a query. Okay. Now, let me copy this one. This is the syntax. This is the syntax. Create database name. Okay. Create database name on, open the bracket, in that name equal to, this is, you have to give the name. This is the logical name. This is the logical name. File path. I showed you that path also. How to give that. That path we have to give. Size, initial size of the file, maximum size of the file, file growth. We need to enter how much MB need to be increased when data file is full. Okay. Now just let's try this one. Okay. Okay. This name is student info DB. Okay, good. This is logical name. This is logical name and file name. Let's create one folder here. I'm giving here a folder. What's database. Okay, database. See, database. Okay, let me try this one. Path. Invalid usage of option size. Create alter. What is this one? Comma I did not give. Achha. Okay. Let me remove this one. Okay. It has executed. Let's refresh this one. Okay. Now see, sample DB is created. Database file is created. Right click, properties, go to files. No, not this one, student info DB. Files. See, student info DB and log file, both are created. Okay. So this is the way how to create by using a query, creating database. Here, this is the logical name. Even when you create here, by right clicking on databases, see, it is a logical name. Whatever the things here, the same way we gave values here. That's it. Logical name, file name. We gave the path, size. See the size, initial size 20 MB, maximum size here. This is the option. We gave that, and file growth. Okay, we gave that options. This is the way how to create a database. Okay, by using query. Next one. What happened? Let's close this one. And this one also. And now I want to create my own primary files, or I want to create file group also. Okay. If you want like that, this is the syntax how to create database. It's very easy. You see, we are just see. So this is the information we are giving in each section. This is the information. But here we are saying .mdf file, and it is .ndf file, and this is .ldf file. If you want to create, I told you that file group, just give file group, and secondary you have to give the name. After that you have to mention that .ndf file, and file path you have to mention that. Okay, usually you don't do this. I'm just trying to explain you that how it works when you write a query. Okay, so if you understand this, no issue. Okay, this is the way how to create log files also. This is the query, complete query. Now, so in our server, we created the database, and this database contains tables, right? And in that table, we are going to store our information, right? So now see, before creating, we created a table database, right? In that, what we need to create table. So first, when we want to create a table, we must understand the data types in SQL Server, so that when we create columns, we have to specify that data type of the column name. So before going to create a table, we must understand data types in SQL Server. Okay, I just give you one example here. This is employee DB. These are the tables. Table, EMP table. Let me open this design. Okay, see, we have column names: employee ID, employee name, job, sal, hire date, age. We have created. So when we create column names, we have to mention the data type also. That data types we are going to learn now. Okay, so that data will be stored according to the type of the data type we mentioned. EMP ID, it contains only numbers. E-name, it contains only string values. Okay, characters like that. Job, salary, money. Okay, I will tell you that now. Data types. Now, a data type specifies type of the data allowed in column and amount of memory required for that column. Okay, type of the data allowed in that column, whichever column we are going to give, on that column we have to specify the data type of the data allowed in that column. Amount of memory we also can have, can give memory, and then that means size of the column. We can mention that amount of the memory required for that column. Okay, now see, in SQL Server, these are the main data types here. Character, we have character, integer, float, currency, date we have. Under character, we have ASCII and Unicode. What is this ASCII? This ASCII is limited to English, A to Z, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, 0 to 9, punctuation marks, and other things. ASCII represents that. Unicode, these two comes under character only. Unicode, what it is? It supports all languages, whereas ASCII, it is limited to English only. Okay, now under this ASCII, see, character, varchar max we have. Unicode, under this nchar, nvarchar max we have. Integer, under integer we have tiny int, small int, that means integer, big int, numeric, float. Under float we have decimal, PS, I will tell you this later, numeric, PS, currency, small money and money, date, time, three things are there. Now see, the first one is character. See, character, It allows data up to 8,000 characters. The maximum size is 8,000 characters. Okay, I told you that along with the type of the column, we have to mention the size also. If you take character, the maximum data, it takes it as 8,000 characters. Okay, up to 8,000 characters it takes character. This is recommended for a fixed length of character column. This is recommended for fixed length of character. That means, suppose if I take name character of 10, 10 is the size. That means 10 characters we are saying. Okay. Now I gave one name here. I'm trying to enter Mohan. Okay. I'm trying to enter Mohan, but the size I mentioned here 10. Internally, it allocates 10 character size. See, Mohan 5 characters, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 characters. But what we are saying, it is a fixed length character column. When it is fixed length, what happens? This size is wasted, right? So we should not use for these kind of things. Character must be used for fixed length characters. Example, gender. You can enter male or female, only one character. This is fixed. In that case, what do we say? Gender, character of 1, only for one character. Okay, there is no wastage, right? Either male or female you can enter. That is the advantage of character. It is fixed. And country code also, India, IND, USA, 3 characters. See, character 3. Okay, these are the examples. It is for fixed length character column. Character means fixed length character column. Okay, next is what it is. Varchar in the sense it allows up to 8,000 characters. Okay, in the same way like character, but here it is recommended for variable length fields. It is recommended for variable length. Okay, where in the sense variable character size. Anyhow, we need to give size, right? So name, same thing, name varchar 10. I'm saying varchar 10. That means it creates or it allocates 10 character size here. Now the same example, Mohan I entered MOHAN 5 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about these characters? Since it is variable length field, it releases this unused memory. That is the advantage of varchar. It releases this memory. Okay, that is the advantage of varchar. So when we come across variable length fields, we can use varchar size. Okay, for fixed length character. Okay, now varchar max, it is same like varchar only, but the thing is it allows characters up to 2 GB. Up to 2 GB we can enter data in varchar max. Okay, that column. Usually for reviews there is no limit. Okay, so here up to, okay, of course we have 2 GB limit, but usually in few websites they mention the character count. Okay, you have to enter 500 characters only if you take review. That is the limit. If they don't mention that, internally if it is SQL server, it is up to 2 GB. Okay, it takes that. Okay, now PAN number, how many characters? 10 characters. We use character of 10 for PAN number. IFSC code, character of 10. IFSC code 10 characters, right? Email ID, okay, we don't know that. So maximum we can give up to 30 characters, and we use varchar variable type. We are saying, okay, allocate variable character type and the size is 30 characters. You can enter 10 characters, you can enter 20 characters, you can enter 25 or 30. Maximum is 30. It is flexible variable length. And the next one is Unicode. Under this Unicode, nchar, nvarchar, nvarchar max we have. If you see this nchar, nvarchar, nvarchar max, it allows Unicode characters 65,536 characters. Okay, that includes all ASCII characters. That includes all ASCII characters, and also along with that, and also we can use other languages also. Okay, other languages characters also. Okay, that is the advantage of Unicode characters. Same functionality, and here we are saying character as fixed. Here we are using nchar, but it is Unicode characters. Okay, Unicode characters. Here it takes 8,000 characters, same here also. And nvarchar, same variable length characters. And nvarchar max, same 2 GB. Okay, but the thing is here, it is national, and in the sense national, international language like that, all the characters of other languages, here it uses internally. Okay, Unicode characters. The next type is integer. Integer. What is the time? Integer. Integer, it allows numbers without decimal. It allows numbers without decimal. Without decimal, it allows. That is called integer. SQL Server supports 4 integer types. Here, the difference is range. Though we have 4 integer types. Okay, see, tiny int, small int, integer, big int, all are the numbers, but without decimal. Only the difference is range. If you take tiny int, see, tiny int, the size is 1 byte and the range is 0 to 255 numbers you can enter. Small int, 2 bytes minus 32,768 to 32,767 we can enter. This is the small int. Integer, 4 bytes. This is the minimum value and this is the maximum value we can enter. Big integer, 8 bytes it takes. This is the minimum value and maximum value is this. Okay, this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. Okay, age, if you take age 0 to 255, that we can take, no issue. Tiny int, employee ID, small int. Okay, it is like that. According to the requirement, you have to take the, you have to mention the type of the data. And after that, we have decimal numeric. Here under integer, we have another thing, numeric. This numeric, which is based on number of digits, whereas in integer, see, it is saying range. But when it comes to numeric, it is based on number of digits. It allows numbers up to 38 digits. It allows numbers up to 38 digits. We are not talking about range. It is number of digits. Allows numbers without decimal. Same thing, no issue. Allows numbers without decimal. That means employee ID, if you take numeric 4, if you say numeric 4, 10, if you say employee ID is 10, it is allowed. 100, it is allowed. 1000 also it is allowed because number of digits 4, right? And without decimal, 10,000 not allowed. That is the advantage of numeric P. Precision, P in the sense precision. Okay. Now account numbers, if you take age numeric 2, you can give age numeric 2. Okay, that means up to 99 we can give, enter age. Phone number 10 digits, Aadhaar number 12 digits, we can give numeric. Okay, here in these cases. And account number, it varies from bank to bank. Accordingly, we can give that numeric or something else. Okay, now actually numbers are 2 types, right? Without a decimal, up to now we have discussed, and with decimal also. If we have with decimal, that is called float. Under float, we have decimal numeric. See, decimal numeric. Under float, we have decimal numeric, decimal PS, numeric PS. Both are same. Both are same. Any we can use. It allows numbers with the decimal. Okay. P in the sense precision, total number of digits allowed, and S means scale, number of digits allowed after decimal, number of digits allowed after decimal. If you take salary, decimal, if I give decimal 7 2, total number of digits is 7, but after decimal it takes only 2. Total number of digits is 7, after decimal it takes 2. That means before decimal what? 5 digits it takes, because total number of digits 7. Okay, if you enter 5000, it is allowed. It is allowed. 5000.55 allowed, because after decimal 2 digits, before decimal 4 digits. 50,000.55, it is also allowed, 5 digits and 2 digits. 5 lakhs, no, it is not allowed. It is crossed. It is crossed. Okay, even though even though you enter 5000, internally SQL Server stores 5000.00, because it is with decimal, float in the sense with decimal. Even though you enter 5000, internally it stores 5000.00. Okay, now we have another case here, 5000.5678. With this we can complete. Okay, 5000.5678. It is allowed, but the thing is, after decimal it has to be 2 digits, right? So the exceeded number, whatever it is, there's 7 8, this is exceeded, it is rounded. This is 5 or more, then it is rounded to 5 7. It is more than 5, right? 5 or more than 5, then it is rounded to 7. That means 5000.57, it will store like that. 5000.5645. Okay, now see the number here 4, it is less than 5. That means it is up to 56 only. 5000.56, it is rounded. In that way it uses internally. Okay, next, here in this case exceeded number is not accepted. Here exceeded number is not accepted. Okay, after decimal exceeded number is rounded. Here exceeded number is not accepted. After decimal exceeded number is rounded. It is rounded here. It is rounded, this one. Now, okay. Now currency types. We have two types currency types: small money and money. Small money 4 bytes it takes. This is the range. This is the range. Money 8 bytes. This is the range for that money. Okay. Salary. Small money is enough. Its data type can be small money. No need to give money. For balances, bank balances. Okay, we can have crores or 10 crores, 100 crores like that, right? See, in that cases you can give money. Okay, that is the difference, small money and money. And we also have date time. Date time we have, it's a data type. Date time, date time, three things are there. Date, it allows only date. Time only allows time. Date time allows both date and time. And the default date format is YYMMDD. This is the default date format. And the time format is HHMISS. Okay, DOB, date of birth, this is the format. And date 9 o'clock. Okay, this is the format. For the transactions and all, we have to take date time. We need date as well as time also. Okay, and finally binary types. Binary types also we have three types are there: binary, var binary, var binary, max. Same like character, varchar max. Binary fixed length, it allows binary data up to 8000 bytes. Variable binary, variable length up to 8000 bytes. Same. Variable binary max up to 2 GB. Same like character. Okay, if it is photo, this is related to images, right? Binary. Photo, if it is fixed binary 5000, you can define that. Some action oriented photos are there, var binary 5000. If it is movie, var binary max you can take. Okay, so let's close this. You have any doubt? Is there any default setup during declaring data type like integer, a float, if we don't provide. We have to give data type, we have to mention data type. Okay. Any doubts, any other doubts? Or we can close the session now. The time is 9:20.
So today we are closing the demo session, right? So do you receive any actual session link, or we'll continue the same demo link only?
Actually, I think you might have paid, so you will get a new link. Okay, so probably on Monday they will provide you that, and when Tuesday or Wednesday they will merge 7 p.m. batch with 8 p.m. batch. Okay, so everything they will inform you. No issue. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and one more thing. Tomorrow also we have class. Okay, at the same time. Tomorrow also we have class.
Same demo link?
Same link, I think. They will inform you everything, no issue. But tomorrow we have class. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. Please tell me.
Yeah. So there is a small dot at the end. You showed about the bit and where bit kind of stuff, kind of data types.
Hmm.
So you said about the movies and like the pictures. So how will this kind of data would get incorporated? Means why when will you use this byte kind of data? Bits. Yeah.
Which one? This binary types.
Yeah.
So usually when we deal with pictures and all or movies and all, it will be internally it will convert into binary type, and it will store in the SQL server. Okay.
Okay.
That is the thing. It is like, see, in the front end application, we write browse option, right? We have a browse option. When we
Right.
click on that, we can select a picture or movie like that. But internally, what happens? It will be converted into binary, and it will be stored in S.
Oh.
That is the thing. Okay.
Okay. Means like the movie database, like IMDb might be doing behind the scene this kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
will meet tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have session. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let's stop here.